Hi, welcome back to the channel. You might have seen recently that reFX released their amazing new physical modeling synth called Rippler. I'm still yet to take a look at it on this channel, but it's definitely on the list for sure, so hopefully in the near future I can do so. However, you might not be aware, there's actually a stripped down free version available. It isn't on the website and it's a little hidden away, so I'll include a link to it in the description. Now, I'm actually not quite sure what the background or the story or the history is to this free version, and maybe it's like a demo or a test version they were experimenting with. My understanding that it's official, it's not some third-party ripoff or anything, but if that's not true, somebody please correct me. So in terms of functionality, it is largely the same. Well, let's say at a broad stroke, let's say 50% the same. There's quite a few differences I'll go through in a moment. So we still get the dual layers. We get the resonator engine A and resonator engine B. We also get the exciter, which here it's called a mallet. However, what we are missing are the analog oscillators. There are two of those, or I should say the virtual analog oscillators for the pedantic ones among you. We're also missing the global modulation section, which includes the envelopes, randomizers, and macros. And to be honest, depending on your DAW, you might be able to set those things up within that regardless anyway, so it's not a big loss, those things. That said, it is nice to have the patches self-contained. We do, however, have a single ADSR here, and the ADSR is applied globally, as opposed to the 4 that the Big Brother version has. We're also missing the effects section, but to be honest, we all have thousands of plugins, so maybe that's not a big deal for some. So with that said, let's take a look at it then, and let's have a listen more importantly. So we'll start with the exciter, and here we have several different impulses or triggers. Once again, not as many as its Big Brother, but to get you started, it's actually quite a generous selection in my view. And surprisingly, we can also load a sample to act as a impulse. I say surprisingly because usually that's one of the first features that is removed from a stripped down version. And for those who aren't aware how a resonator synth works, well, essentially the resonators themselves do nothing unless they're triggered. And that's obviously because they have nothing to resonate against. It requires an input or a trigger or an exciter, to use the official term, to, like I said, trigger it to generate something to resonate against, if that makes sense. So let's turn engine A and B off, and we'll just hear the triggers. Let's turn the mix up full, and we'll just choose the first one, click. So here, it's just, as you can tell, just a very short percussive sound. Strike, and let's choose another one at random. Let's go blip, sounds interesting. And now when we turn the resonator on, we'll turn the mix down of the trigger or the exciter. So we're not hearing that at all. However, it's feeding into the resonator, and now we're hearing this sound here, the resonator of this string model. And then in here in the resonator section, we can shape the character of that, as you can see, by adjusting the material, the inner harmonic content, tone, obviously make it duller or brighter. And then we have a filter also, so high pass and a low pass when we move left and right of the center dial there, of the center point. Essentially acting like a DJ mixer filter. I could be wrong, but I think hit is the initial attack stage. Let's go up here and we'll choose something else, marimba. And on the exciter, we'll go wood. We can add another resonator if we like, another engine. And then we have the option to have A and B parallel, or we can go serial, so one feeds into the next. And then on the second resonator, we have ratio, so ratio in relation to or relative to the first resonator. Let's extend the release a bit, sustain also. Give a bit of level. Tiny bit of noise. And also another surprising addition is the inclusion of velocity map. So what we can do is we can assign velocity to, let's go mix here. So we'll turn the red little dial up and we'll go, I don't know, somewhere around 60% perhaps. We'll turn that off, and then when we strike a key, the louder we hit the key, the louder the mix of the exciter will be. So quite softly, and then loud. You can hear that really coming through now. Soft, loud, soft, and then loud. Let's also attach that to decay, and we'll do the same for resonator B, and then also on the decay of the ADSR. Let's go quite long on that one. And then also, just because we're having fun, on the noise also. That might not sound good, I might come back and change that. Turn down the gain. I'm clipping there. We don't want to do that. If you can afford its Big Brother, then I absolutely would recommend getting it. But for a lot of you, this might be sufficient. Let's play a few patterns back and we'll go through and we'll choose some presets randomly just to give you an idea of how good they sound. There aren't as many as in the full version. The full version has quite a few hundred. So here there are only, 15, 20 odd, but the ones that are included do sound fantastic. Let's start with Harp C. Give it my new favorite bell sound, I think. Let's just go one more just to finish it off. Let's go, I don't know, Crystal, no, Tablet sounds interesting. Sorry, I lied, one more Crystal. So there we go, reFX, baby brother to Rippler. I suspect for most people they get a vibe from it from this, and then go out and I think they'll purchase the full version. I know I certainly would if I started with this one. Like I said, a link's in the description, and thanks for watching. I'll be back next week with something else. We'll see you then, bye.